But here we go. Aaron got 2.0, and the Germans are out first. So I guess Saint was right with the Germans take east and then Greek goes west. That does make sense, since we've just seen this. So
makes sense. I mean, that's the way it. That's the way it was in the first game, and I don't see why the Greek players would want to do anything to try and change that now. I mean, we can put it this way: the Germans, they helped the treaty in the first game when they came from west to east, and now they were nice and doing the same. And maybe Chris is just pushing the boundaries a little bit. Maybe that's like the neutral zone, not Switzerland, where he's landing now. Sora wanted the two, but seems like Chris gets the better part of it.
Yeah, and you even saw, I think it was Kowo that dropped into Pachinki to try and nab one of their vehicles, and he did so. As that was pretty cheeky from him, but I mean, it didn't really work out because they died anyway. But Yadrox, that's not what you want to be doing.
Good thing he has 31 teammates that can miss him.
That is true. Yeah, that's also a plus point.
Yeah, for sure.
It's circle. Oh, it's very central.
Center circle, if I've seen one.
Wow. I mean, maybe we could say like a north versus south kind of fight. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But probably not. I mean, because it's going to
imagine if they were each their side of the water.
Yeah.
And just like stand and throw pans.
Yeah, just whoosh. Imagine if that's getting knocked. We would just see one pop like, oh, he got it. He got the knock.
All the emotes in game. It's going absolutely insane. No, but for those of you guys out there watching who might be new to this tournament, I don't think, and maybe I can have it confirmed with you, if Germany goes out now, I don't think they go to the lower bracket, do they?
I feel like they do, just like in the...
Everyone gets one lower bracket spot?
I feel like you do, unless you're in the finals.
You'd think that they do. But in any case, it is a upper bracket, lower bracket system. So Greece there, I mean, 2-0 already. They are making their way closer to that, maybe, who knows, passage towards the final stages.
But it looks like Germany has a lot more control, obviously, of their circle. But the circle is kind of favouring the eastern side, and that's where they've kind of taken residence. So it does make sense. But at the same time, it looks like Greek have kind of gone for a further sort of south. To southwestern area, so Pachinki's pretty lit though. I wonder if they get enough loot there. Like, there's tons of players there. So
I think if you're Germany and you have control of both school apps and Rostock, like that entire strait there, you're sitting in a real good position, both in terms of trying to hold the Greek players out in a potential situation that the next circle goes east, but also you have so much accessibility both to rotate north, you can rotate straight back. I mean, you can pretty much go wherever you want if you have that. And you can see Kaiga is actually driving in towards, pretty much inside of Rostock now. And if they can make like a barrier all the way from maybe even Watertown to Rostock to school and apps, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Greek players to really get a foothold anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be super tough. I imagine probably... Kai's probably, asked if anyone dropped in Rostock. No, so he's just taking that for himself, and he's going to probably stay there and kind of hold up residents and just make sure that no one really comes through there, so they can kind of have like some sort of a line across the middle anyway. But it's not high ground though, and I feel like every time I've seen a team take the high ground, it's always actually I lie because. Hungary. Was it Hungary that took the high ground on Vikendi?
Yes.
Versus Turkey, and Turkey still battled them.
They were waiting for them once they had to come down the mountain. Let's put it that way. Yep, they were sitting up on the hillside, and it was I guess you can say it was multiple things that led to that eventual defeat. But tunnel visioning and more things. I mean, also just Turkey again showing that they play for the late game. I mean, they had a fight that they could commit to if they wanted to, but they realized that the odds were against them, backed out, and we haven't really seen too much of that. It's as if once the main brawl begins, I don't recall, other than seeing the Turkish team do it, to really see a team manage to disengage from that when they find themselves in a bad position.
Yeah, no, you never really
just fight it to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
No surrender.
Yeah, essentially, you just commit to the fight, and that's it. Like once the fight kind of starts, that's usually the end game, isn't it? Really. But it looks like everyone from Pachinki's actually left, so they've all decided to sort of peace out on the as a unit and go towards some call it the small Pachinki or mini Pachinki.
Yeah.
Just north of maybe Pachinki.
We can call it pool because it's in the middle of Pachinki and school.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's actually
It's just confusing because there's a pool house in the school too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be confusing.
That was a good deal.
Nice try.
One. I liked it. I liked it. Maybe it's squish. No, that's not gonna work. School skinky.
No.
Skinky.
No, no.
Skinky means ham in Danish. I like the name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like skinke and
Let's call it ham.
ham. Well, there's your name.
Let's get a ham.
No, it's the ham compounds.
Let's go ham.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I mean, this position from Kai God, now that Corey and Omega is over there as well, it's even better. But him sitting there, even if the players from Greece had managed to go into Rozhok, he would at least have hurt them.
Oh, yeah.
So he could have given the info across. So him sitting over there for like the last minute or two is actually a really, really smart position. Now, there are a lot of Greek players in this. I mean, this is probably the closest we'll ever get to a proper battlefield in like medieval battlefields, like out in the open. Warriors. I look at this. I mean, the terrain has already been scarred by all the artillery barrages and all that. And it seems like that's where the Greeks they want to have the fight. I'm not sure if the Germans they're up for it though.
Yeah, no. Germans have taken residence just in compounds and buildings around. It's kind of the boring style, isn't it? Right? You know, you want you want to go out into the open and not into the open, but into the sort of the open kind of open air cover and fight from there, which is what I think is quite fun.
I think if you play in terms of control right now, they have so much more knowledge and space in the circle, and they do have a little strike force on the southern side, a little sneaky peeky scouting force on the south side. I think they're just ready to rotate and take whatever they need to do. And right now, Germany, if they move quick, you can see they're already all sprinting on the southern side. If they move fast, they will be able to hold the Greek players to 1/4 of the circle.
Yeah, I was thinking with that southern sort of hold of that kind of I call it like a sort of a G2 compound because that's where you usually see them. But it seems like they might want to sort of make a pincer maneuver and roll as like a 6-man death squad.
Wait, what are the Greek players doing? They're going for high ground, but they're full on rapping on them. Yeah. Look at this. The entire Greek fleet, I should say, the entire Greek army is pushing up towards Potato Hill. Again, high ground.
Yeah.
But what do they want to do from here? I mean, it's a very committed decision. Jinjae must have called out that, I mean, guys, I think he has a very specific mark on the map that he wants everybody to rotate towards right now.
Yeah, I think you're right here. So, lots of movement coming in. I mean, the Southern Germans have come in and they've just kind of sent it in between a lot of the Greek players here, and this could be really rough. Marco does get a knock, but it's only one, and it is a flush though as well, so that comes on through. But
look at how many German players out of position. I mean, the entire school apps area, Rozhok and the Rozhok Hill, they can't do anything right now, and it's a little scary. Give it and Bill, they've managed to push all the way over, and now this compound is being completely eyeballed by the Greeks.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like one sort of group of Greek players up on the in the fields sort of towards the eastern side of where the volcano is, and it's an interesting sort of spot. I guess they want to kind of take some more ground and maybe sort of try and I guess concave them in terms of in the center and just batter them. But at the same time, since they're in all these compounds, it's gonna be so hard to really collapse on it. To be honest with you,
this one shifts north.
Oh,
this is where we see all the Greek players just crash into school. Like just smash the vehicles into apartments. They need something. I mean, they cannot just sit. They cannot sit on Potato and wait. And right now, if you're the German players, you need to push like all the guys out east into apartments. You need control. You have 4 players in school. Look at this. You can see how they're all lining it up right now. The Greek players. They're just making like an arrowhead, and they're gonna send it down that hill. They're probably stuck. Are they going to full commit to it? I like the idea if they are, but there's a lot of speed before they're all going to school. They are all sending it over towards the school building. No, one car flipped. They're all going. The full-on sprint towards school is here. How can they hold this off? Holy cow, Fraxco! Omega, they're all trying to hold them off, but there's so many Greek players coming in.
This is an absolute mess and cluster. Brent's going to try and defend as much as he can. Hackerjack on the roof. Micah just trying as much as he can.
1 nade could kill 7 players right now.
Literally, yeah. This is where we see. This is where we see the nades come in really handy here. Oh my lord!
Oh, this is a slaughter. There's no way that the Greeks prevailed from this.
I mean, to be fair,
Really blew himself up.
they haven't lost that many. I mean, there's obviously a lot of knocks, but no real flashes coming through.
Where did they get over? I mean, no, they have control of the building, but they need to get inside.
Yeah.
Like, they need to sprint inside. Look at how many casualties they're taking, down to 22 now. They need to get inside, and they need to like lay low for a second and just kind of reconsider what's going on here. But there's they needed to get the main building.
Yeah,
They
100%.
needed that main building, and that didn't happen. And I'm afraid this might be the defeat of the Greek army.
Yeah, Gideon Derry, he's flashing up players on the edge of the compound here, and you've got loads of Greeks on the southern side still pushing the building. It's still going on. Stevanos, he's got one. Oh, that nade. Oh,
Wait,
there's
what?
a lot of Germans here.
Well, we got 3 with a nade.
Wait, what?
I
Okay.
just lobbed them outside. They're all there. They're all waiting for it.
I mean, that's what you want to do, isn't it? Just save all your nades until this point in time where
Could
you
you imagine them turning this around now?
Oh my lord! I mean,
The Germans are extremely split. That's the main issue here. The Germans are extremely split, so they can only push a few at a time. And they haven't really come... Oh, Mobs in the 13 caps, and that's... Ooh, he's gonna get kicked.
yeah, that's the kid in there, but. You can see they're just all clustered around this pool area, and I mean, there's only sort of I guess 10 alive, full Greece.
They have 3 players up on the hills too, but they're gonna get pushed now as well. Give it Gucci and Pepe Le Pew. Up on the hills, 9 versus 23. This would require a miracle of sorts if they want to turn this thing around. I like the idea of them pushing into the school and Abs area, but they didn't go for the right place.
Yeah, no, I feel like it might have been better to go for apps so they can kind of take, just get into one app or
Yeah, I'll drive all
get
the way
to
around to the
multiple
side
apps.
of school and go in from the other side. Just anything but the schoolhouse, because they were all pinned in the corner. And as we said, nades, everything, not gonna happen. And there's no way there's anything around.
No, 2 players alive for Greece. They're all on the southern side, it seems, and I mean, Guz...
There's 2 guys
Guz is dead.
inside.
Yeah.
It's Chin Jae, the captain, holding strong.
Oh, wow.
That's 1, that's 2,
Oh,
that's
no.
3,
Ooh.
that's 4. How are they doing this? Now that's 1 down. This should be the defeat of the last nade. It's dead. Oh, they're blowing up their teammates. What is going on? Germany almost, I want to say almost through it, but they had 18 players alive.
I was going to say, yeah.
So it wasn't because they didn't have the expendable forces there, but it is going to be a German victory.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. Finally getting one on the board there.
Mhm.
Arangel 2.0. I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see. To be fair, I think they've kind of. I wouldn't say they've changed up anything really. There wasn't really much that changed, but just Greek made a choice and it didn't work out.
The idea of pushing the school or apps for that sake was really good. And I think they registered that there weren't a lot of players there. They should just have tried to plow those vehicles through the main entrance and get into the yard rather than try and sit in the corner, because the combination of Apartment's been able to see all their vehicles, and also the Rosok Hill been able to throw nades and push down in that direction. Like, with the corner they had, there was just no space where they could sit back and heal up.
Yeah, I think as you saw it, I mean, you see here on your screen there, just everyone crashed the outer wall. Whereas if as you said, if they try to sort of funnel through to the main gate and get right into the courtyard, and then they can sort of spread out amongst the rooms and then defend it as a sort of a cohesive unit. But they just kind of they kind of crumbled on the edge of the wall, and that was it.
Yeah, it did not work out for them at all.